day 14, guys. So I am sitting in the Kroger parking lot waiting for it to open, and it is 5:52. They open at 6. I need to run in and pick up a salad for, can you see all the little lines on my face? It's raining out. So I need to pick up a salad for my tech. I usually do that on Wednesdays. And then I would like to pick up either a small orange juice or maybe one of those naked fruit juice drinks or something along those lines. I'm not precisely sure exactly what it is that I'm going to get, but something that's SOS free, challenge friendly. Oh, there's people walking in front of me staring at me talking to my phone. Man, there's a lot of activity in this parking lot this morning. Good grief. I'm waiting. There's a car parked over in the handicap spot that's waiting. There's a guy standing outside the store in like super camouflage waiting. There's a guy in a pickup truck a few spaces this direction that's waiting. There's a person behind me that has their lights on. They're waiting. We've got people that are working here that are coming, and then there's two gentlemen that are leaving work right now. So they're leaving. There's people everywhere. Alright, so moment of truth. Yeah, I gained weight again. So the scale this morning said 167.6, which is 0.6 higher than the last time when I weighed myself. I don't think this is the right diet for me, guys. Which I'm really surprised. I mean, I guess I'm not, maybe. So, I'm doing straight up SOS free. Following that to a T, with the exception of the one day that I didn't. You guys know about that. But I'm not doing like Chef AJ's ultimate weight loss where you eat vegetables before breakfast and supper and you have to eat 2 pounds of vegetables a day. And I'm not following some kind of low fat. Oh, the person in front of me is going to stare at me. So yeah, I'm not following some kind of low fat version of this where you don't eat any fats. There's a lot of I'm not doing extra. I am being very strict in doing SOS free. And I really kind of thought that the lack of salt would cause some weight loss because the food's not that awesome, so I'm not eating as much, but I guess I'm replacing the amount of calories in the food that I don't eat with fats, I guess. Which would make sense because fat has 9 calories per gram, whereas carbs and protein are only 4 calories per gram. So fats are twice as laden with calories as anything else. So anyway, I'm not the type that gives up on things easily, and I agreed to make this a 30-day challenge, so I'm going to do a 30-day challenge. It's just, I'm kind of disappointed with the fact that it's causing me to gain some weight. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I did think I would lose a little bit of weight. I thought I'd lose probably a couple of pounds at least, because of the no salt thing. But I'm definitely getting to understand my body a little bit better with this challenge. I had no idea that I was so sensitive to fats, and I guess really not that sensitive to salt, to be honest with you, because I guess it doesn't cause me to overeat it. Maybe it does. Maybe it's a combination of both. Whereas, gosh, it's driving me nuts. Whereas, you know, maybe if I ate low sodium and low fat, that would be like the ultimate, you know? But I don't know. I don't know what to say other than it's kind of disappointing. This is not what I was hoping for at all. So supper last night was awesome. I really enjoyed the wraps that I made, the rice wraps. They were really difficult to roll because they're very sticky, and then they were very difficult to get back up off the plate because they're very sticky. So none of the kids really cared for the peanut sauce that I made. My husband and I thought it was great. Both of us really liked it. But all of the kids really liked eating the rice wrap roll things by themselves, which, okay, I'm not going to argue if they want to eat vegetables and rice without sauce. You know, what parent would argue with that? So anyway, But we didn't have leftovers of that because it's one thing it said was that they're not good. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. That they're no good after a short amount of time, like 12 hours or more, because they just get too sticky to whatever they've got around them, wrapped up on them, and you can't get them off, which I could totally believe that, because like within 10 minutes of putting them on the plate, we were having a hard time getting them back up off the plate to eat. So, I don't know. But flavor-wise, it was really good. I really enjoyed the peanut sauce on them. I thought that was fantastic, actually. So I've had a few meals now that have been pretty darn good. The rosemary potato white bean soup with the sunflower seed pesto on it was pretty darn good. It was definitely not bad. The goulash succotash not spaghetti thing that I made was pretty good. That was not bad. These rice wrapper thingies that I made, that was pretty darn good. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing else has been all that awesome. I think I can go in now. Pretty sure. So I'm gonna go in and grab a few ingredients. Ingredients? No. Grab a few things from the store that I'm going to take with me to work, and then tootle on off to work. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, because I can. Bye. Alrighty guys, so this is the drink that I picked up at the store, the Kale Blazer. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. So it's dark leafies are good for you. I drink spinach smoothies all the time. This one's just a little bit too not bitter. Chunky maybe is the right term for it. It's just not quite right. It's not horrible. It's just not terrific. But no sugar added. The whole thing only has 190 calories. It's got a whole bunch of leafy greens in it. I'm going to drink it because it's good for me, and it's got lots of vitamins and nutrients and minerals and all that great, yummy, delicious stuff. But, nah, not so awesome. Anyway, just thought I would show you what I picked up at the store, and I am off to do some work now. Bye, guys. Okay guys, so I'm at work and no one's here yet. I have a couple of reports that I need to do and some other things I need to do, but I got this new book. Actually, I got it for either my birthday or Mother's Day. I don't remember. The two are so close together that I never remember what I get for which celebration. But anyway, this is the book. It's called The End of Overeating by David Kessler. It's actually something I've wanted to read for quite a while, and I just noticed it sitting in my closet this morning on one of my shelves. Underneath like some other stuff, and I was like, oh man, I've totally forgot that I had that. I've been wanting to read that for like quite a while. So anyway, I haven't gotten very far. I've only read the foreword, but I had to read this to you guys. This is super, super, super interesting. So okay, in explaining the drive to overeat, this is he actually wrote his own foreword, the gentleman that wrote this book. So in explaining the drive to overeat, I have deliberately avoided the term addiction because I thought it was distracting. My goal has been to examine the underlying brain circuitry that responds to specific stimuli such as food or sex, which are fundamental to our survival. It is inevitable that we would evolve to seek out these things. Humans need food just as they need sex for the species to endure. These are, in a sense, the first addictions, and the learning, memory, motivational, and habit circuits of our brains may have developed to push us towards them. Okay. So this is really interesting. So regardless of the terminology we use to describe the effects of these stimuli on our brains, the point is that food, and especially food that is layered and loaded with sugar, fat, and salt, holds great sway over us. This is simply how we are wired to respond. Our brains are structured to focus on the most salient stimuli in any environment. Indeed, overeating is just one of many behaviors driven by this response. And he goes on to talk about nicotine and alcohol and illegal drugs and gambling and all those kinds of things and how they hold sway over our brain as well. It says it has the power to condition our behavior and to capture us so that we come back again and again for more. But for most of us, food is the most readily available and socially acceptable stimulus. It triggers the neural circuits in the brain, and the next thing we know, we find ourselves reaching for a chocolate chip cookie or just one more chip. That's where I fall into the category. I can never eat just a small amount, and that's good. It's just I don't moderate at all. So it says, when we understand our brain's response to food and how it drives our lack of control, we can change our approach to eating. On a broader scale, we can begin to understand the other dimensions of human desire, emotion, habit, and thought. Blah, 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 blah. Over the last 3 decades, modern global food companies have taken full advantage of this weakness of human biology, putting high-fat, high-sugar, high-salt foods within constant, immediate reach. The resulting shift in our social norms has made it acceptable to eat anything, anywhere, at any time. Mealtime has become an opportunity for a fun-packed evening of entertainment. That's kind of cute. I haven't heard that before. These strategies and shifting values have contributed toward making our nation's weight gain all but inevitable, indeed, and the only surprise may be that some people have managed to resist. Both the availability of highly processed food products as well as the nature of this food is capturing our brain circuitry with profound consequences, especially for our children. And blah, blah, blah. He basically says at the end that he wants to help us to understand eating patterns, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading this book. It looks like it's going to be really good. I still haven't finished my other book, the Salt, Fat, Sugar, How the Food Giants Hooked Us, something like that. Anyway, that book is really, really good too. I just haven't gotten through it completely yet. But I really wanted to read this book as well, and I just saw it this morning, so I brought it with me. So hopefully sometime today I'll be able to take a quick little break here or there and read a few things, and if there's something of like super interest in here, I'll bring it up. I'm probably going to go to the salt part first, because actually maybe I'll go to the fat part first, seeing as that's where I seem to be struggling. Obviously I'm craving foods that have salt in them, because none of the food tastes very good to me, so obviously I want something with salt. But yeah, I don't know. And you know, I just realized I had my phone the wrong direction again, so it's going to do this, and there's going to be black sides on the side. It's not the right direction. I'm sorry. I really stink at this. I really do try to make sure that my phone is this direction, not this direction, but I just realized that I forgot again. Sorry. Anyway, I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to do some work, and then I'm going to read a little bit more of this, and hopefully I'll have a chance to chat with you guys later about what it is that I've read. So, bye guys. Alrighty guys, so I have left work and I am on my drive home. I actually did not have a chance to read very much of that new book that I wanted to read today. It actually was really busy at work today, so had a lot of admissions, had a lot of busy work, and then we had to do once every year you do it's like a skills fair kind of thing, and a lot of it's more directed towards the nurses and maybe even physical therapists or the hands-on patient hands-on clinical staff, but at the same time there's still things that pharmacy staff end up having to know and having to go through, and so it took about I think it took us less than 2 hours to do, considering that we did group test, because that's just the way that works, you know. You get to be an adult, everything is a group test. But anyway, so I did read one part of the book that I thought was pretty fascinating, that I totally agree with. It just makes purely logical sense, but he's got the science to back it up as well. So we don't overeat or eat when we're not hungry, or eat into the pain simply because we like food per se. It's not so much that, oh, you know, I love Oreos, I can't help it. When I see a package of Oreos, I have to eat them. It's not that. It's more along the lines of the food has been altered to the extent that it essentially hits the pleasure centers of the brain, and that produces a very short-lived positive mechanism feedback that your body says, oh, yep, this was the thing to do, this was the right thing to do, and gives you a very, very short-term, quick on and off feedback that says you did the right thing by eating that, simply because they hit the pleasure centers of the brain, the reward system. And so basically what it's saying is that because it's such a short-lived response, that is what causes people to either chronically overeat or to be looking for the wrong types of foods, even when they know better. Like, they know what they should eat, they know what they really really want to put in their body so that they're healthy, but at the same time, they go back for one more chocolate chip cookie, or they go back for another chip, or whatever, like it said. And it's specifically because the reward system has conditioned a person to think that that is correct. That reward pleasure pathway that you get is just significant enough that it overrides the, I don't know exactly what you would call it, but it overrides the part of your body, I guess the willpower, when you say, no, I'm not going to have that again because it's not good for me. I know it's not good for me, and yet the reward pathway in your brain is telling you, no, that is the right thing to do. That's a hyper-palatable food, and that is something that will get you the best results in terms of the most caloric needs met, when we really don't need that much calories. We're not, the majority of the world is not in a calorie deficient environment. I know there are places in the world that people are starving, and that's horrible, but for the most part it's really not the case, and we have an abundance year-round in a lot of cases, in a lot of places. So anyway, it was a really fascinating section of the book. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have more time to read a little bit more about it. I really was busy at work today, so I had that kale smoothie, and I ended up getting rid of about half of it because it just was not good. So I didn't drink that. And then I had my potatoes that I brought with me. Did I tell you guys about the potatoes? I don't remember if I told you about the potatoes. So I made the clamless chowder yesterday, and it was pretty awful. So I pulled all the potatoes out of it and salvaged them, and I put a whole bunch of garlic powder and onion powder on them and ate them like that. And then I had an apple after that. I would have eaten my salad. That was probably about 10:30. I would have eaten my salad this afternoon, but we were busy doing the skills fair, and so I ended up eating, I had brought one of those little peanut butter and jelly bar things that are the 3-ingredient, like a little round cookie bar thing. I did end up eating that. I brought one of those with me, and I did not eat my salad, so I left that in the refrigerator at work, and I will enjoy that tomorrow. When I get home, I need to stop at the grocery store. My husband needs a few things for the kids for tomorrow. They have orchestra tomorrow, and so when he comes home from orchestra, it's like right at supper time, so he doesn't have time to prepare anything, so he just wants to throw sandwiches together on Thursdays, which is totally fine. I'm a very big not fan of lunch meat, but sometimes you do what you gotta do, and so I'm going to pick up a package of lunch meat, and it has to be boy-friendly lunch meat, so it's basically a very specific brand and type. But anyway, need to pick up a couple things for them for supper for tomorrow night, and then when I get home, I am going to have I've got corn tortilla shells that don't have any salt in them, and I'm going to get a can of black beans out and warm them up, and then semi-squish them so they're a little bit refried, a little bit beans, and then put that on there with some corn and some scallions and some salsa. My husband makes salsa for us, and it's sugar-free, oil-free, salt-free. He's been making it for a long time now, and it's really good. So I'll have some of that, and then maybe a slice or two of avocado, and I'll have a few of those. And then I probably will end up just bringing that for lunch tomorrow as well. It's kind of a hard thing to eat at work because it's kind of messy, and you have to have layers and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't really think there's anything else for me to bring for tomorrow, but maybe I'll get adventurous and figure something else out in the morning. I don't know. I don't have any plans to figure anything else out in the morning. My plans are always to sleep in. That's usually what I want to do. I would like to sleep in until I have to get up at 4 and then take a shower and get ready to go and all that good stuff, but that just never happens, ever. So, whatever. No biggie. So, anyway, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop at the grocery store when I get a little further south, and then I'm going to go home and have some food and hang out with my kids and look at Connor's art project that he finished today. That was a big deal, and just visit with them for a little bit, and then talk to my daughter. Today was her first day at the learning center. See how she feels about that, how it went, how driving down there was for her. I'm sure that was, I mean, she's 19. She's only been driving since she was distance for her to go by herself and driving and that kind of thing. So she was a little bit hesitant to be doing that, but that's okay. So yeah, I'll chat with her for a little bit, and maybe if I get lucky, I'll visit with my husband too. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening. If I have the chance to, I will show you what I'm eating, or maybe take a quick picture of it or something along those lines. But if you don't hear from me again and I end the video here, know that I'm going to enjoy my supper. It's one of the few things that is very, very plain and very simple, but I really do enjoy. Just straight up easy Mexican-y type food where you don't have to worry about cheese and sour cream and all the junky crap that you can put on food. So I'm glad that we eat plants rather than animal products. So for that case, because they're just pretty darned unhealthy for you. All the salt content that's in cheese is insane. But anywho, that's it. Maybe I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe not. If not, I'll see you in the morning.